And now we are moving forward to the keynote speeches, and I'm really glad to welcome Ulla Engelmann from the European Commission. Ulla is head of unit in DG Grow, being responsible for the internal market, entrepreneurship SMEs at the European Commission. Her portfolio covers social economy, European cluster policy, skills for industries. But this is really a very little, small presentation of what actually Ulla is doing together and helping clusters. So Ulla, I really thank you for all the support and efforts, and I'm giving you the floor, so please join us for your presentation and keywords.
Thank you very much, Theodore. I also would need to have the right to share the screen. I do not have it.
Yes, we are making you the host now.
So while this is happening, I would also thank you for the organization of this joint event, meaning between Bulgaria and Romania, and opening it up. I think this is very important. And to be honest, I'm also kind of jealous that you have this live event, because I think it's so great that we are starting having live events, because now for so many months we see each other quite often online, but I'm also looking forward to when it would be possible to meet online. Okay, so as we said, the role of clusters for growth. And just before the confinement, we have published the European Industrial Strategy. Still, very much what is in this industrial strategy stands for what we want to do, but nevertheless, our president in the speech of the Union has pointed out that we will be working on an updated industrial strategy. But what we have right now is that, and it was also said by speakers before, we need to look at the green and digital transition in order to make our economy more and our society more resilient. And how is this going to be happening? One very big part of it will be the Recovery and Resilience Facility, which has been published by the European Commission with its guiding principles just some 10 days ago. And in these guiding principles, these are principles for the national recovery plans. So each member state will have to have national recovery plans, which should be based on these principles to look at the environment, at the productivity, but also stability, fairness, and all in all, it has to be a competitive sustainability. With this, it's for now for clusters, because the role of clusters in these national recovery plans is very important. And that's why when one of the first speakers said that you have now established channels where you can officially discuss with your government, I congratulate you to this. This is a way to go. You need to be able to reach out to your government, discuss with them, because they have to do these national recovery plans, but these plans should be based on your input. And that's why also it is very important to have an ecosystem-focused approach. So, and this is what clusters are doing. So, having partners in large companies, SMEs, service providers, public authority, academia and research. So all this together makes you the ecosystem which can be much more resilient and greener. In order to see how can we recover, in the European Commission we have come up with 14 industrial ecosystems which cover about 90% of the whole economy, and particularly the ones who were very hard hit. So we are now looking into each of these ecosystems, of these 14 ecosystems, what can be measures to help to recover, but also what it's a lot about mapping the ecosystem and having the economic data, how this ecosystem is affected. And within this, clusters can help a lot, because clusters are bridge builders. and from clusters come a lot of innovative proposals. That's why we have seen that clusters could identify disruptions in the European value chain and in the industrial ecosystem. Together we could see to find best possible solutions, but also another very important aspect is clusters can identify critical companies with high tech, critical know-how, with production or technologies which should remain, which should not get into danger. So this is another very important role of clusters. But also another important role of clusters is to work together. And that's also what all your event is about. And for this, we have the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, where we have more than 1,000 cluster organizations registered. And like this can help you to connect with each other. We are, of course, also fostering the cooperation between the different industrial clusters. And that's why we have different kinds of strategic cluster partnerships, be it international, be it between regions, be it on cluster excellence. So we have very different kinds of cluster partnerships, and with third parties we are looking at different kind of agreements. And one very concrete example which fits well in what you are discussing today is a low carbon business actions in the Americas, which has started, which was a pilot between which we have kicked off with Mexico and Brazil. And the idea was really to generate cooperation and business agreements between European and Mexican or Brazilian companies in the low carbon sector. And this was really a success. We had 700 business agreements and more than 100 projects to become commercially viable projects. This was not only providing financial support, but also technical assistance and to help to prepare a soft landing in the countries. Now this will be enlarged to more countries from 2020 to 23, and we are kicking off in October with the first work to Brazil, Mexico, Canada, Chile, Argentina, and Colombia. But then I also would like to show you very briefly that we have a high number of clusters in bioeconomy and other related sectors. We could identify on our cluster collaboration platform more than about 250 clusters in clean tech and circular economy, in biotech, human health, 218, agro-food, agriculture and marine industry, 178, and industrial biotechnology, biogas, biofuel, 77. So you see, it is quite an impressive number, and I hope that during the discussions, I'm sure some of these clusters which are mentioned here are with you to discuss. What we are planning within the next multi-annual financial framework from a European side is what we call the Euro clusters or joint cluster initiatives, where we will base ourselves on this 14 ecosystem, but also looking at what I said before, the critical infrastructure, critical input and critical technologies, and then to see how these cluster partnerships can help resilient, green and digital transformation. And then of course we will also have our European Cluster Conference completely online during the German presidency on the 10th and 11th of November. And this is also another opportunity for us to discuss again online further with each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ula. It's been probably like 10 days since I've heard the first time you've presented the plans during the daily discussions of ECA. And one of the things we've been discussing with the colleagues, and it's a good chance that we are here, representatives of two countries, that to see what's the best way to communicate, what's the shortest road to communicate with the government, and to see how the clusters can really demonstrate the needs of the SMEs and how to work on the communication side, because the clusters actually, they understand the needs of the SMEs, and they translate it to the, and they should translate it to the language, basically to speak the same language with the government in order to work on the recovery and resilient plan. So thank you very much, Ula, and I think that there would be many questions and approaches during the forthcoming days, because especially with the period set till the end of October, there's many things to be done, and this is something that we are really all interested basically to work hard on that. So, and I really thank you for the support and being with us, though virtually today, and supporting the joint initiative. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ula. And now it's my really pleasure to invite Antonio to join us here. And yes, and here, please be seated. So it's, as Daniel said, Antonio, for the first time I met Antonio in 2018 during the frame of the TCI European Conference, which happens in Sofia. And when it was the first probably starting discussion about making an alliance between the different, joining an alliance of the National Cluster Association. Then last year we had this discussion in Romania, which was brilliant, and then we met in Poland, in Warsaw, signing this declaration, and just for less even a year, amazing things have been done. A real proof of a platform for exchange of knowledge, idea, help, identifying needs, bringing solutions. And I have to say that no matter what else I will say, Antonio, you manage it, you power it, and this is brilliant. So Antonio Novo, the president of Cluster, the Federation of Spanish Cluster, the president of the European Cluster Alliance. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Teodora. Good morning, everyone. I really need to say that it's totally true. The first time that we spoke about the European Cluster Alliance was here in Sofia, and with you and with Daniel and many others, Eastern countries here. It was the German that was continued in Romania, in Bucharest. So congratulations, because this success is in an enormous part from you. And you are playing a key role on what we are doing. And this is the best demonstration. You are the first one to create a physical event when it's needed, when we need really to meet again, to see ourselves, and to create new opportunities. So congratulations. I'm really glad to be here in so beautiful place also. Okay, so thank you to you. Thank you to Ula, that has been key also in supporting our activities. And I want to encourage you to continue in this way, because the capacity of the national networks of clusters to really link projects, ideas, people, to create new contacts is being demonstrated day by day. In this case, day by day in our morning sessions. And it's only possible through your activities, through your involvement. That is, I need to say it, very highly appreciated, okay? So for your information, Daniel, Teodora, for example, participated very actively in the forum that we manage in the European Cluster Collaboration Platform during the worst moments of the crisis. Yeah? And they were daily working on getting ideas, information, making contacts with the cluster or companies looking for solutions, looking for alternative sources of materials, and you made a great job. I need to say that, okay? So you have the best representatives possible, and I want to recognize that. So about my presentation, As I said, it's an honor to be here, okay, speaking about bioeconomy. And just for your reference, what is the European Cluster Alliance? It's a joint effort or 13 national association of clusters. I need to say that there are more, okay? There are representatives, ambassadors from other countries like Germany. You know that Germany doesn't have a national association, so that's the reason that we don't have them officially, okay? Italy, Greece, and it's true, we joined more than 100,000 SMEs, thousands of universities, and that's probably one of the biggest networks of innovative companies in Europe. And we are demonstrating how can we use that power, that capabilities, okay? I want also to encourage also the involvement of all your clusters, not only the cluster representative, but both networks, the Romanian and the Bulgarian networks, to encourage you, each one of you, to participate, to participate in the morning session and the proposals, in the activities that we are organizing. Okay, to keep informed, to keep proactive, to propose and to create the new opportunities. Okay, so I don't know if I can. Yeah. So let's see, because what we are speaking about is about shared leadership. A question of we leading, but we need to lead together, okay? We need to create new opportunities together, and with a very wide understanding of what is an innovative ecosystem, integrating. And that is what precisely we did some months ago on March, okay? We link with not only clusters, but also social actors, social clusters, makers, and the institutions at the European, national, and regional levels. And that was the special capacity that we saw, that we are demonstrating every day, okay? Our capacity to link whoever is needed to integrate. And the numbers are quite good, I will say, okay? We have organized more than 140 morning sessions with more than 6,000 attendants accumulated, and linking with, I don't know how many different DGs on the European Commission, representative of nations, of governmental governments, of regional governments. We are speaking about S4, S3, the old S3, now S4. We are speaking about national recovery plans. We are speaking about the 14 industrial ecosystem. We are speaking about what is really important for us. And we need to say that it was a very, very quick reaction from our environment, okay? We were between the first ones to send to the Commission a list with more than 1,000 companies across Europe putting their capabilities at the disposal of the European Commission in March. We quickly reacted, and we were invited to join our efforts on the rapid alert function. We have been delivering to the European Commission weekly reports for 14 weeks, okay, about the disruptions and the possible solution for that disruptions. And now we are collaborating closely, very closely with the Euro on challenge of national recovery plans. And that is I need to say, that is the current challenge. challenge is to be able to provide our responsible of proposals, ideas, projects that really can help our economy to be more green, digital, resilient. Okay, and sometimes I need to say that it's not so clear for them. So we need to understand, explain, connect, link, convince. That is the current challenge. And in order to do that, there are some concepts that for us are key, and I want to highlight them. Okay, one of them is that we should not speak only about island of excellence or industrial value chains. That old. We know now that we are involved in co-evolutions of industrial ecosystems. So if we make something in one of them, the links with the other create different effects. And we have that kind of view, the global view, able to really understand what is happening with. We are investing on agro and how agro is linked with biotechnology, for example, okay? And that's what we are speaking about today. But that's not so clear for some specialists on the policy side. So we need to be there, we need to act as what that slide speaks as keystone agents, agents that are connecting different ecosystems, different realities, agents that understand and create the capacity to link those ecosystems. And this is a concept from Athanasios Konstantopoulos from Greece. We were speaking about Athanasios yesterday, okay, during the dinner. And there is another very important concept for us, is the resilience. Okay, resilience, Athanasios says, resilience is a property of the networks, not of the nodes. And we, as networks, are able to create far more resilient environments. Okay, so one network that is able to connect the different nodes is rich, is resilient, is flexible, is capable of adapt and resist better the crisis. And this is our work, to connect, to prepare our companies to better resist, to better adapt, okay? That's also critical. So, Ula has explained about the 14 new industrial ecosystem. I don't need to stop here, okay? But we have been analyzing those disruptions by ecosystem, and you have here in the screen the main disruption detected from our team. Okay, we saw that there were big problems generated by the border closures. Okay, we are convinced that there is a lack of workforce. That we need to work on upskilling, reskilling, creating talent, able to exploit, able to really extract the best productivity of our resources, okay? I'm sure that you know about the unsold stocks and the changes in the consumer behavior. And I don't know if it's a problem or not, the temporary increase in the local supply chains, probably something that is good, you know better than me, okay? But it was a sudden change, and it means that we needed to adapt, okay? And this is the fake news, as you very well know, was a big problem also. It's a big problem still, okay? So we retrieve a lot of recommendations, but I think that you are the best ones to really say what can be done and what is better for your development. Okay, so I just wanted to share them with you, but you are totally free to criticize and improve them. Okay. And that is all. As the introduction of the European Cluster Alliance, you are invited to join our activities. You are part of it as the through the national networks, but it will be far better if you join us personally on our morning session or our different activities. Thank you. Thank you very much, Theodora.
Thank you, Antonio. There was a slide that you shown how many meetings only from the March the 27th they've been. I think I've seen the family of these meetings more than my own family, because I tried to count it, but I think I've been to 125 of those meetings. So and I'm really happy that today, basically your studio that you are usually doing this meeting will be placed here, so everyone will be part in a live atmosphere. We'll see how the meeting is going and how open it's for connecting with different parties, because this is not meetings just between clusters. They are representative of regional development agencies, universities, and basically it's such a good example of understanding the different actions in the countries. It's really a good chance to be analyzed and to be part of this. So thank you very much, and I'm really happy that we will continue later in a half an hour with this regular meeting. And now I would like to invite Nelo Emeranzia from to discuss why bioeconomy development is the key solution in the frame of our topic today. Nelo, do you hear us?
Thank you, Theodora. If I may get also
can you unmute yourself? Yes, brilliant.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now. The floor is yours. It's my pleasure. So the floor is yours.
Can I get the power to share my screen?
Yes. Yes, we hear you and we see your screen. So, it's perfect now.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everybody. And I must be honest to say that I wish that I was in Sofia right now, rather than sitting here in Brussels in my office, in my home. I've been in Burgas in 2018 and I love the country and I was looking forward to visit the country again. But I will come, and I will come to that in a minute. I'm speaking on behalf of the Bio-Based Industries Consortium, so we are industry. And I love the title of your conference, Bioeconomy as a Driver for Green, Sustainable and Inclusive Growth, because this is exactly what we are doing. And actually we as an industry and with our stakeholders and actors, we are in the process, fairly in the beginning of this process, to transform Europe into a circular bio-based economy. Because what we are doing and being at the heart of the circular bio-based economy, we as an industry, we make bio-based products for applications in all market segments. And we use biomass feedstocks. These are sustainable biomass feedstocks. We're applying the cascading use of the feedstock wherever possible so that we can use all the fractions of it to the highest possible value. We provide renewable carbon that can replace fossil-based carbon in almost all applications. So we're really out to establish sustainability. When you look at the processes, products, services, and the business models, we face and we focus ourselves on circularity. We are doing away with the linear take, make, waste economy that we've been doing for so many years and decades behind us. Resources, materials, and products are used as long as possible while we maintain their value. And we are maximizing material and energy efficiencies. Waste and emissions are minimized. So we are really working towards this carbon neutrality. And especially because we are focusing to establish zero emissions operations, we do contribute to Europe's goal of this climate neutrality by 2050. So we aim to establish a European bioeconomy that has sustainability and circularity at its very heart. And if you look at the European economy today, bioeconomy is already a significant force in Europe. These are figures of a study, an annual update that we do with the Nova Institute in Germany. This is the last one, published in September of this year. You see that the bioeconomy overall contributes 2.4 trillion euro to the economy in Europe. And this is about a 25% increase since 2008. About half of that is contributed by food and beverages, about 20% by agriculture and forestry, and about 30% by a bio-based industry, which is what I'm speaking on behalf of, and I'll be zooming in a minute. And when you look at the second figure there about employment, we must admit that since 2008, employment in the bioeconomy has dropped. But this is mainly the result of the restructuring ongoing in the agricultural sector to make that sector stronger for the future. If you look at the employment again, about 55% of that is contributed by agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, the primary sectors, even though the turnover still is rather low. And this is also something that we, the bio-based industry, are cooperating with the primary sectors to make that higher. The Central and European countries are therefore very strong in what so far is still less value-adding sectors that generate a lot of employment. And Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria are among these countries. And Northwestern Europe countries generate higher turnover as compared to the employment that they generate. And you may think of countries like Finland, Germany, Belgium, etc. Zooming into the turnover, and I'm focusing only on the industry, you see here that that industry alone contributes 750 billion euro already in 2017. This is the last of this study. And thereof, paper and paper products and the forest-based industry, they contribute together more than half of this turnover. And followed by pharmaceuticals, textile and textile products, chemicals and plastics, and bioenergy. So all these sectors are growing, and the contribution of the bio-based industry is growing as we proceed. And we're looking forward already to the figures of 2018 and 19 that come forward to show this development. In terms of employment, you see that the bio-based industry alone provides jobs to 3.6 million people in Europe. And we missed, as I said a while ago, that employment has been declining, mostly because of the increasing optimization, automation, and digitalization in the agricultural sector. The other sectors are stable, or they're slightly increasing employment. And most employment, as you see in the graph here, are provided by the forest-based industry, paper and paper products, and the textile industry. Now, zooming again into the bio-based industry, at this very moment, we are in the final stretch of discussions with the European Commission to form a new public-private partnership. And the name of that partnership will be, or at least is a working title, Circular Bio-based Europe, CBE, that will operate under the Horizon Europe Next Framework Program and is a continuation of the bio-based industries joint undertaking that was there in the Horizon Europe. And this is the final year of it, 2020. So there are two partners, Industries Consortium. We represent all major actors in the field of bio-based activities and the bioeconomy. We have made a Vision 2050, the Circular Bio Society in 2050, that is supported by 15 associations in the field, including all associations from the sectors like agriculture, the farmers, Copa Cogeca, for example, the forestry, the fisheries, etc. Now we are in a final stretch to discuss with the Commission the roadmap towards 2050 with milestones for 2030 so that we know that we are in the right direction. This is our Strategic Innovation and Research Agenda 2030, the CIRA 2030. And again, it will be concluded before the end of this year. The objectives that we are striving for in this new PPP are to help establish the long-term sustainability of the society in Europe. And as I said earlier, contribute to the climate targets for 2030 and towards the climate neutrality by 2050. Contribute to the European Green Deal and the other objectives of Horizon Europe. The main activities that we are undertaking, will be undertaking, building on our experience in the last 7 years, are to increase research, upscaling, and full-scale deployment of competitive and innovative solutions that provide health and income to our societies. We are focusing on circular use of biomass, residues, and waste. Actually, we don't like the word waste because what people call waste still is a very valuable feedstock for other operations across the boundaries of the traditional sectors. And increasingly, we are focusing on regional approaches. And I think here is where when you're talking about clusters, this is also what we mean by the regions, because many regions have their clusters, and we are now linking them with the European network of the industrial activities. And I'll come to that later. So we are contributing to a circular economy that operates within the planetary boundaries. We really would like to make a serious efforts to stop the climate change as we see these the effects thereof happening day after day. In order to achieve this, we need a strong industry across Europe that partners with the primary sectors and the market sectors, and with academia and a society, and working with regions, building on their strategies and their strengths. So we are really focusing on establishing quadruple helix in our activities. So, short word about Bio-based Industries Consortium. Look at our members. We have over 240 industry members. These are large enterprises, SMEs, and SMEs in clusters. And we have also brand owners, market actors, and we are extending our membership to include investors, financial institutions. Next to the industry members, we have also associate members. These are universities, RTOs, associations, the academic world, so to speak. And if you look at the sectors represented in our membership, we have all the primary sectors: agriculture, food and feed, food processing, aquaculture, horticulture, marine, fisheries, chemicals, materials, forestry and pulp and paper, market actors, technology providers, waste management and treatment. We are building links with municipalities across Europe that do have waste management strategies. When you look at the membership of BIC, this is a picture where we are located as of January this year, and it's been changing because we're moving east and central. But this picture shows you that most of our members are located in the northwestern part, southern part of Europe. And if you look at the central and eastern part, we don't have at this moment many members. And this corresponds with the bio-based industrial activity level in these countries. And this links almost one-on-one with the so-called innovation readiness of the countries in Europe. And this is a study that is updated by the European Commission every year, showing this innovation readiness, and the Commission clusters countries based on their performance in a couple of categories. On the left-hand side, the two, Romania and Bulgaria, the two countries organizing the event today, as the modest innovators. Then we have those colored in yellow as the moderate innovators, then the light green, the strong innovators, and on the right, you have the innovation leaders. And most of the EU 13 countries are positioned still in the modest and moderate innovators. And this corresponds with the level of bio-based, industrial bio-based activities in the countries, and also with the membership of Bio-based Industries Consortium. It is therefore that we, And the Commission is all on our side on this. We started a program a couple of years ago that we call the Strategic Outreach Program. The objective is to expand bio-based industry across Europe and into Central and Eastern Europe. And what we're doing in this program is that we ourselves, of course, we use a consultant to help us in this. We make studies of these countries based on publicly available information. And then we go back to the countries and we say, this is what we learned from your country based on the data that you yourself are putting out. And we're looking at this data from a very specific perspective, from an industrial perspective. We're looking in basically 4 chapters. We're looking, what is the current economic strength of the countries? And specifically, what are the primary sectors? Is there agriculture? Is there forestry? Is there fishery? Is there a waste management structure? Is there also a national bioeconomy strategy? Then we look at what are residual streams from these industrial sectors in the country and what happens with them today. And then in a 3rd chapter, we come with a few suggestions, with a few projects. They utilize compatible feedstock and make valuable products out of them. This is how we reach out to these countries. And we've made so far, the green colored countries, 6 reports. In Portugal, way on the left, and of course, Romania, Poland, and the 3 Baltic states. And we have started a project, a coordination support action project, of which Peter Canciani is the coordinator. Peter was supposed to be there in the opening session. And this project will be making the same sort of reports on these 6 countries marked in yellow there. You see among them Bulgaria, Hungary, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Slovenia, Croatia, it's all there. And on top of that, the same project will do similar reports on neighboring countries. And you see them all marked in another color, something like opaque. You see Serbia, etc. And the other countries marked there, including Greece, are also covered partly by this project, and we will move into these countries later. And our objective is to go there, assist, and speak with all stakeholders in the country. So this is industry actors, academic actors, and governmental actors, and help and establish a cross-sectoral cooperation, because this is the crux of bio-based industry. And that is that you bring together actors that are traditionally no partners in value chains: agricultural, forestry, chemical, fisheries. We used to work in pillars, and now we're breaking down the walls between these pillars. This is a bioeconomy. And one of the tools that we have established to help accelerate this process is a new, what we call a new bioeconomy platform, where we bring together industry actors and regions across Europe. The industry on this platform can make themselves known as to what is it that their strengths are, what is it that they're looking at, what is their experience, what is it that they're looking for. And regions, based on their smart specialization strategies, are offering their strength and what they're looking for, and what sort of feedstock do they have, what sort of financial assistance can they provide. And what we are out to establish here is a co-creation between industry and the regions to establish bio-based activities in those regions, not to take them to Northwest Europe, for example. No, in those regions, in these countries. This is what we're looking for. A quick view as to what are the regions at this moment in our platform. And you see this shown in the countries there. And Romania has at this moment 2 centers in this platform. And we're inviting everyone, every region, if you are there representing, to please get in touch with us so that we can also assist you to lay contacts with other actors across Europe. In terms of members, for me to conclude, these are the members. I'm showing them in the Central and Eastern Europe, and you see there Croatia, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia, and Slovenia. At this moment, we do not have any member, not an industrial member in Bulgaria, but we are certainly looking forward to travel to Bulgaria with the reports and start making contacts so that we can help accelerate the bio-based activities in your country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was really interesting for me to see basically how many, all the opportunities. You really grew a great network, and I think even watching it, I've seen that there is an opportunity for connecting the European Cluster Alliance on these discussions and with you, because this is a really good thing. And also we have from Bulgaria, we have to definitely put ourselves on your map. It's not fair, so we have to do something on that. So thank you. Join us. I mean, we will be happy to join us for the morning discussions. We will send you information on that, because it's really a great opportunity for collaboration and finding opportunities. So thank you, Nelo. There will be a quick break till 10:30. By the time we'll set up the studio for Antonio, you're more than welcome after that to join, because it's really good to see it live, the studio. For all watching us at the moment online, please come back, stay with us. We will be back in 10 minutes. So you can also go and grab a coffee and join us for the session in 10 minutes. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.